This is what Kick Legend. They're going to show you a multi-range flow drill. So here with Brian and Adam, who are in town for the Mall Morning Seminar, and wanted to make sure I got them together to bring you some new ideas.
So my name is Brian Pike.
I'm Adam Rector.
I teach with a group called Martial Concepts.
And this helps you learn to self-fake, right?
And Martial Concepts, one of the big things that we focus on a lot is trying to make sure that students have at least a level of basic comfort in all the different ranges of combat. So weapons, kicking, striking, trapping, grappling. You don't have to necessarily be expert in any of these, but you have to have at least a little bit of understanding so you know enough to get yourself out of trouble.
And these drills came out of the idea of using sombrata from the Kali and the Eskrima and applying those sort of concepts with interrupts into kickboxing. So we're going to start by isolating the hand range. Right, Brian's going to come in to punch just with the jab at my face, and we're going to isolate that range by moving out so that we maintain our distance and control. I come into counter, and then he comes back into counter at me. So we're working a triple jab with some movement in between. So if he starts, he initiates into range, I'm coming back and then back out. And then I can start, and we can go back and forth off just isolating that hand range so that we're just tuning in on that range and that distance control.
So the really important thing to remember is that it's all about the footwork, it's all about that distance control. So we're not just standing here trading punches. The whole point is that I'm trying to get into range to hit. He's trying to maintain distance where he's safe. He does the same thing. I have to retreat. I do the same thing. Now we're going to do more or less the same thing with kicks. And you can use whatever kicks you want. We usually use just like a sliding round kick. So starting just outside of my kicking range, again, I shuffle in, and I'm going to kick to the inside of his leg, and then try and make distance so that I'm not stopping here where he can hit or kick. I shuffle in, make contact on the inside of the leg, just nice and light. He's going to follow with an outside leg kick. I follow with an outside leg kick. He follows with an inside leg kick. So we call this inside, outside, outside, inside, because I go inside, he goes outside, I go outside, he goes inside. And again, we're shuffling into distance. So as I finish, he has to step for his outside leg kick. I have to step for mine. He has to shuffle for his inside leg kick.
So now all we're going to do is blend those two different range control drills together. And the idea is we're always following after each other's energy, so we're working on preserving that distance. So if Brian initiates with his kick, and we're working on isolating and following as I fall back, he comes in. As I fall back from this last kick, he comes right into the hand range, and we work right back into that hand drill. So if I initiate, he's following my energy back out, or back in, and then I come right back into hands. So we can work on bridging the gap between those two distances in a fluid way. It's still prescribed motion, right? But we're isolating and controlling those different ranges in a way that later we can interrupt and pick up different techniques. So this just gives us a fluid framework to work different interrupts and techniques off of, much like we would do sombrata with the stick before we work our intercepts and disarms.
Even with this basic drill, right, we're doing it by the numbers, which is a great way to pick this up. You notice that when he transitions from the kick to the punch range, he has to shuffle farther in, right? And then when they go back to the kicking range, they have to shuffle less. So we can start breaking it from the sets of 3 into just truly random, even with a very basic format. And then now we're going to get an idea of how to change from hand to kicking range, not by the numbers, but not throwing in any extra variables yet, to advance the fundamental attribute without distraction. So let's just try that. You see, I'm just letting him land it, right? But by breaking it up a little bit, you see where, like, you got the little stutter. Sometimes the punch pulls up short. Sometimes your partner's used to letting you land the leg kick, so your punch actually gets there.
Here you see that the value of that fake high, because it looks like I'm switching into punching range even if I'm coming low for the kick.
Which is a habit of a lot of, especially JKD style kicking, right? You're always doing this, so that's another way to advance this, right? What if we're always putting up something, even on just the leg drill? So again, we want to build it up step by step. Just the leg drill. and then we switch to putting it into not a fake anymore. Right? It just gets there. And this helps you learn to sell the fake, right? And so on. So some pretty interesting ideas to make this drill challenging in case you just think you're too good already. So yeah, so try it out and make sure you check out both of them. They're teaching in various cities now. We broke up the loving couple. And yeah, make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. This is Roy Kick Legend. Keep your chin down, elevate your striking.